Welcome, wanderers of Sanctuary. We stand on the precipice of a new dawn, the fourth chapter in a tale woven with the threads of chaos, betrayal, and the unyielding will of humanity. This is Diablo 4, the latest installment in a saga that echoes through the halls of gaming history. Today, we will delve into the lore that shapes this world, peering into the shadows that dance at the edges of the mortal realm, whispering tales of the fallen, the forsaken, and those who dare to defy the gods. We begin our journey with Inarius and Lilith, the progenitors of Sanctuary, whose tale is as tumultuous as it is tragic. As we unravel the threads of their story, we will bear witness to the return of the creators, the wandering soul who changed the face of the world, and the chilling legacy of Malthael, the aspect of death. We will explore the enigmatic life of Lorath Nahr, the hermit of the fractured peaks, and Prava, the high priestess of the Cathedral of Light. We will tread the path of Donan, Neyrelle, and Vhenard, their stories etching deep lines of sorrow and hope into the face of Sanctuary. And ultimately, we will bear witness to the unfolding tragedy that binds these characters and us in this world of darkness and despair. But remember, the world of Diablo is not one to be taken lightly. It is a realm of secrets steeped in mystery and cloaked in danger. Like an ancient building hidden deep in a dark forest, this lore will pull you in, taking you deeper and deeper until the world above feels like a distant memory. A realm of unending night where the only light comes from the burning desire to uncover the truth. This is a journey not for the faint of heart, so gather your resolve, steel your nerves, and join me as we step into the shadows of Diablo 4. Once there was only war. The eternal conflict raged relentlessly, a storm of violence and power, tearing at the fabric of existence itself. Two beings, angels and demons alike, grew wary of this unending struggle. Lilith, the daughter of Mephisto, and Inarius, a disillusioned angel. As the conflict dragged on, both Lilith and Inarius found themselves yearning for something more than the ceaseless battle. Lilith captured Inarius as her prisoner. She brought him to her lair, not to torture or to kill, but to amuse herself in the mundane reality of war. However, to her surprise, her touch did not bring pain or fear to Inarius, but rather breathed new life into him. He awoke, speaking incoherently about his desire for escape, his longing to break free from the eternal conflict. Seizing the opportunity, Lilith manipulated Inarius' desires, spinning tales of a world where they could be free, where they could be together, away from the endless cycle of violence. She proposed a daring plan to steal the World Stone, the mountain-sized gem of creation, and use it to forge their sanctuary. Inarius, besotted with Lilith and desperate for an escape, agreed. Their plot was daring, audacious, yet it succeeded. Together, they rallied like-minded followers, angels and demons who were tired of the war, and stole the World Stone right from under the noses of both heaven and hell, from the very heart of the Pandemonium Fortress. With the power of the World Stone in their hands, they created Sanctuary. A world hidden away from the gaze of heaven and hell. A world of peace and infinite possibilities. Lilith and Inarius ruled their new world, residing inside what would come to be known as the Temple of the Firstborn. But creation was only the beginning. Lilith and Inarius took another unprecedented step. They had a child, a son they called Linarian. This was a union like no other, a fusion of angel and demon, through creation of a new being known as Nephilim. Their fellow renegades followed suit, creating more of these Nephilim, beings of immense power. Altars dedicated to Lilith, the first mother, were erected by these ancients, symbolizing her new status. However, their paradise was not to last. The Nephilim, born of both angel and demon, were somewhat more powerful than their creators. Or that's what they feared. This sparked fear amongst the renegades, as they worried that their offspring might turn against them or draw the attention of heaven and hell. In this atmosphere of uncertainty and fear, Lilith made a horrific choice. She morphed into a monstrous form and hunted down her fellow renegades, committing an act of atrocity to protect her children, the Nephilim. This act of slaughter horrified Inarius. He was unable to bring himself to kill Lilith, his lover and partner in creation. Instead, he banished her into the void, away from the world they had created together. Inarius then tampered with the World Stone, causing the powers of the Nephilim to diminish over time, eventually giving birth to a weaker, mortal race known as humanity. Thus, Sanctuary was left without its creators. The story of Inarius and Lilith, of their daring escape from their eternal conflict, their creation of Sanctuary, and their subsequent fall, is a tale of ambition, love, fear, and tragedy. It is the foundation upon which the world of Diablo is built, the genesis of the epic and dark story that unfolds in Diablo 4. The wheel of fate spins unendingly. Lilith, the first mother, has returned. Her release, a consequence of an ominous ritual performed in the catacombs of Sanctuary, has been orchestrated by a mysterious figure, a harbinger of chaos and discord, an unassuming adventurer, in reality a devout servant of the Triune named Elias. The underground chamber, a place of hidden secrets and dark rituals, became the unwitting stage for Lilith's dramatic return. 3 unsuspecting souls, a pair of fortune-seeking adventurers and a scholar drawn to the echoes of ancient knowledge, found themselves ensnared in the machinations of Elias. As they fled from the tireless pursuit of the undead into the deceptive safety of the chamber, the grim reality of their faith unfolded. Sacrificed upon a triadic configuration of pillars, their life essence was drained, their blood intertwining in a sanguinary ballot to form a conduit, a gateway through which Lilith emerged. Her reappearance brought forth an unsettling wave of change in Sanctuary, as if the very fabric of reality shivered at her return. Humans, susceptible to the allure of her dark charisma, began to flock to her, forming cults and groups dedicated to her worship. Her mere existence, a beacon in the mortal realm, awakened a dormant darkness within countless hearts, inciting an unprecedented surge of dread and paranoia, particularly within the borders of Kyrgyzstan. Trust became a rare commodity, as no one could discern friend from potential foe. Lilith, in the adoration of her new followers, was hailed as a goddess. The people offered blood sacrifices in her honor, their devotions fueling her power. The First Mother began her merciless campaign to claim Sanctuary as her dominion. As Lilith's influence grew, so did the impact on the world around her. Helltides, potent pulses of demonic energy, resonated through the land, transforming the landscape and empowering her demon minions. The once familiar terrain twisted and contorted under the Helltide's influence. Yet, Lilith was not the only ancient power to resurface. Inarius, the renegade angel who once co-created Sanctuary with her, also found his way back. His return was marked by bitterness and resentment, a palpable force that resonated through the realm. Now, these two prodigal entities find themselves engaged in a new kind of conflict, one that uses humanity as its arena, its soldiers, and its prize. Sanctuary, now a stage set for an impeding cosmic drama, is a world yearning for heroes, yet the figure who steps into this maelstrom is no legendary warrior. Not yet, anyway. No famed mage, but a solitary wanderer. An enigma wrapped in layers of cloaks and mystery. Shrouded in anonymity, their past is a canvas, painted with the colors of your choosing. Their story, their identity, their purpose lies in your hands. The Fractured Peaks, a realm tormented by an eternal winter, is where we find this wanderer. With each step, they trudge through snowdrifts, the biting wind a relentless adversary. Their objective is simple: survival. They seek solace from the biting cold, a refuge in the heart of an unforgiving landscape. But the wanderer is not alone. The peaks are haunted by creatures, remnants of the chaos that once swept Sanctuary. Every shadow could hide a threat, every snowstorm a deadly ambush, yet the wanderer perseveres, their determination a beacon in the desolate white wilderness. Unbeknownst to this solitary figure, their destiny is intertwined with the very fabric of Sanctuary. Their journey for survival is about to collide with the monumental events set in motion by the return of Inarius and Lilith. A common wanderer perhaps, but their role in the unfolding saga is far from ordinary. Their story is yet to be written, their destiny yet to be shaped. What trials await them? What choices will they make? Only time will reveal the true nature of the Wanderer. The world of Sanctuary is haunted by a spectre from its past, Malthael, once the Archangel of Wisdom who fell from grace and became the dreaded aspect of death. His legacy is one of devastation and despair, a brutal testament to the destructive potential of power unchecked. Malthael's grim reaping took a staggering toll on humanity, eradicating nearly 50% of the population. Cities that once bustled with life now lie in ruin, their streets silent and desolate. In the wake of Malthael's monstrous purge, the world teetered on the brink of collapse. The loss of life so profound, it sent shockwaves through the very fabric of society. Faith crumbled, giving way to religious schisms as mankind desperately sought meaning in the chaos. Famine swept across the lands as food became scarce, leading to widespread starvation and suffering. Conflicts erupted, fueled by desperation and the struggle for dwindling resources. The tragic aftermath of Malthael's genocide extended far beyond Sanctuary. Heaven itself was scarred by the onslaught of the Reapers, the angelic host severely diminished by the conflict. In response to their loss, the high heavens shut their gates, withdrawing from the affairs of humanity in a time of dire need. Even in his absence, Malthael's presence looms large, his actions casting a long, dark shadow over Sanctuary. Lorath Nahr, a once prominent member of the Horadrim, is no longer the man we remember. In the wake of the fallen Westmarch, 3 long decades have passed, and they have not been kind to him. He has aged, weathered, and hardened by the relentless horrors and losses he has endured. The young, eager scholar that once was is now replaced with an old, stoic hermit. The bustling city streets and vast libraries of his past life have given way to harsh winters, relentless winds, and a solitude that would break a lesser man. Yet within him, the spirit of the Horadrim still flickers, a flame that refuses to be extinguished. His knowledge of ancient lore and the eternal conflict between heaven and hell remains a significant part of his identity. Despite his self-imposed isolation, he finds himself unable to sever the ties to his past, haunted by the ghost of his old life and a sense of duty that lingers like an unhealed wound. One fateful evening, Lorath returns to his humble dwelling from a hunt, only to find an unexpected guest rummaging through his belongings. Instead of responding with anger, as one might expect from a man living in solitude, he invites the intruder for dinner. This guest, a wanderer, introduces Lorath to a new, harrowing tale that reshapes his quiet existence. The wanderer speaks of an event that should have been impossible, being fed the blood of the banished demon Lilith by the very villagers who rescued them from a storm. This unnatural act, as horrifying as it sounds, has sparked a series of visions within the wanderer, visions centered around Lilith herself. Lorath, with his deep-rooted knowledge of the eternal conflict, quickly understands the gravity of the situation. He acknowledges that these visions might hold the key to stopping Lilith's impending return, potentially averting a catastrophe that could spell the end for Sanctuary. Driven by this newfound purpose, he decides to accompany the Wanderer to Vhenard, hoping to unravel the truth behind these visions. Realizing the magnitudes of the threats they face, Lorath makes a strategic decision. He instructs the Wanderer to travel to Eldame Keep in Skolsklen to inform his old ally, Donan, of Lilith's return. Meanwhile, he himself decides to head towards the Dry Steppes to investigate the tales of the Pale Man, who we know is Elias. He also suggests a visit to the Cathedral of Light, hoping that their resources and influence might prove to be valuable allies in the dark times ahead. Thus, the once hermit Lorath Nahr finds himself thrust back into the tumultuous world of angels and demons. His quiet life in the mountain is replaced by a mission of grave importance, a mission to stop the return of Lilith. Amidst the chaos of Sanctuary's struggles, new characters step into the spotlight, their destinies intertwined with the grand tapestry of the events to come. One of the most significant among them is Prava, the current High Priestess of the Cathedral of Light. Her story is one of faith, servitude, and a relentless dedication to a cause. Prava's journey begins with a miracle. Once plagued by crippling seizures, she was rescued from her suffering by none other than Inarius himself. The angel, in his divine grace, touched her life and healed her, forever marking Prava as his faithful servant. From that point onward, her path was irrevocably tied to his, her existence dedicated to his service. The Cathedral of Light, the very embodiment of Prava's faith, is led by Inarius. This religious movement, reborn during the reign of enmity, was once established before the Sin War. It stands now a beacon amidst a storm, a source of hope and inspiration for many. However, the Cathedral of Light under Inarius' guidance is not merely a sanctuary of faith, it is also a strategic tool, a crucial part of Inarius' grand scheme. With Prava at the helm, the Cathedral of Light embarks on a path of aggressive study and exploration. In their bid to understand and ultimately defeat their enemies, they resort to unorthodox practices, from employing body snatchers to deliver corpse for examination, to delving deep into the mysteries of the undead. Prava leads her followers down a path that blurs the line between righteousness and desperation. Her devotion to Inarius is unyielding. As his right hand, she serves as his bridge to the world, his voice amongst the people. Her faith in him is unwavering, and she truly believes that Inarius can save humanity, that he can lead them towards the light. But as you, the player, will come to see, her unflinching faith and Inarius' complex ambition can lead to unforeseen consequences. Their actions, their choices shape the world around them, and you, the player, must decide how you feel about their deeds. As the story of Prava and Inarius unfolds, you will find yourself questioning the nature of faith, of devotion, and of the very concept of good and evil. Then there is Donan, a man steeped in mystery and wisdom, a figure who commands respect within the turbulent realm of Sanctuary. Known as a mage, his abilities speak of a deep understanding of the arcane, but his talents do not end there. He is also a scholar, a man dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge, who has dedicated his life to unearthing the secrets of the world and the celestial conflict that shapes it. Yet, perhaps his most significant distinction is his membership in the Horadrim, a secretive order of scholars and mages who, like him, devote themselves to protect the world from demons and other supernatural threats. His affiliation with this esteemed order bespeaks of a strength of character and unwavering commitment to Sanctuary's protection. But who is Donan beyond these titles, and what path led him to become the revered figure he is now? Skosglen is where we find him, a land known for its rugged wilderness and hardy folk. It is here that Donan has made a name for himself, not just as a Horadrim, but as a hero. His deeds speak of a courage and selflessness, traits that have earned him the admiration of the people of Skosglen. But what exactly are these deeds, and what drives a man like Donan to put his life on the line for others? A call to action delivered by Lorath Nahr may provide some answers, a message bearing news of Lilith's presence and the impending danger that follows. Why was Donan chosen to receive this dire news? What is his connection to Lorath, a man who has seen the horrors of the world and lived to tell the tale? Does it go beyond the Horadrim? And perhaps most importantly, what role will Donan play in the face of the coming storm? As the threat of Lilith looms, will he rise to the challenge as he has done in the past, or will the weight of the peril prove too much for him? Unraveling the threads of fate, we come upon Neyrelle, a young adventurer who has spent her life traversing the myriad corners of Sanctuary, seeking the remnants of the ancient Horadrim. Her mother, Vhenard, ignited this relentless pursuit, carrying her from one cryptic location to another, always in the quest for the echoes of the Horadrim lore and artifact. Their journey, a continuous pilgrimage, brought them to a place known as Yelesna. Captivated by Lilith, Vhenard, along with a group of knights, was drawn deep into the mines of Yelesna. When Neyrelle raised an alarm about the occurrence, her pleas fell on deaf ears. The station knight at the entrance dismissed her concerns, merely sending a report to the Cathedral of Light at Gyuvashad. Neyrelle, however, was undeterred. She became a constant thorn in their side, ceaselessly pressuring them into action. One fateful day, a wanderer arrived, seeking passage into the mines. Neyrelle, desperate and resolute, implored the wanderer to assist her to help her infiltrate the mines and unravel the ominous events that unfolded beneath the surface. Within the subterranean city of Kasama, Lilith revealed her true demonic form to the cathedral forces. A massacre ensued, the defenders falling before her wrath. Vhenard, trembling before the demon, pleaded for her life. Lilith, for reasons unknown, spared her, leading her deeper into the city. There she whispered sweet temptations into Vhenard's ear, offering forbidden knowledge, playing on her insatiable curiosity. Throughout their journey, Lilith continued to sow seeds of doubt and fear in Vhenard's heart, manipulating her motherly instincts, exploiting her quest for survival and mostly knowledge. Despite Vhenard's protestations, she was slowly drawn into Lilith's web, ensnared by her demonic charm. In the end, faced with a choice between her daughter and the irresistible allure of Lilith's promise, Vhenard chose the demon. She partook in a ritual to cross a lake at the bottom of the ruins, a ritual that required her own blood, which she willingly spilt in Lilith's name. Perhaps this was why Lilith needed her all along, her blood. However, the divine element she lacked left her stranded, spiraling into madness, her lifeblood seeping into the earth. Neyrelle, left alone in the world, now seeks to stop Lilith, aligning herself with Lorath and the Wanderer. The loss of her mother fuels her determination, her actions becoming pivotal in the impending battle against the returning demon. In the heart of Diablo 4, a somber narrative unfurls. It's a tale more dark and profound than any that have preceded it, a tragedy of immense proportion. The tale of Inarius and Lilith is one etched in conflict and betrayal. Their return to Sanctuary signifies the beginning of a new era, one where the line between good and evil becomes perilously blurred. The narrative is further complicated by the emergence of critical characters. Prava, the devoted servant of Inarius, stands as a beacon of faith amidst the chaos. She bridges the gap between the divine and the mortal, but her actions and choices stir the undercurrents of Sanctuary's destiny. Donan, a member of the Haradrim and a hero in Skosglen, is a beacon of hope amidst the tumult. His character is layered, a scholar and a mage, yet a warrior when the need arises. His connection to Lorath and his role in the coming struggle become pivotal points in the narrative. The message he carries of Lilith's return ringing the bells of impending doom. Then we have Neyrelle, an adventurer young in age yet rich in courage. Her search for the remnants of the Haradrim has led her onto a path that intersects with the grander narrative. She emerges as a significant ally, her determination to stop Lilith a crucial element in the unfolding tale. As the tragedy of Diablo 4 unfolds, these stories intertwine, each character playing their part in the grand scheme, their choices influencing the course of Sanctuary's future. Sanctuary stands on the threshold of a new epoch, a time fraught with the uncertainty of a change. Its creators, Inarius and Lilith, have returned, their presence heralding an era of chaos and conflict. They bring with them a tempest that threatens to engulf Sanctuary, a storm that promises to reshape the world in ways unimaginable. In this storm, new heroes rise, battling against the gathering darkness. Old figures, too, re-emerge, their roles redefined in the face of the new threat. You, the player, find yourself in the eye of the storm. The decisions you make, the alliances you form, and the battles you fight will shape the destiny of Sanctuary and its denizens. The question remains, how will you navigate the world? Will you succumb to Lilith's corruption, or will you rise against it? As the dark, dramatic music fades out, remember that Sanctuary awaits. It awaits your courage, your choices, your will. It awaits the role you will play in the unfolding drama. It awaits the hero that you will become. Phew, that was a long one to narrate. If you've made it this far, I just want to say a huge thank you for watching. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like, that would mean the world to me. It takes a lot of hours to put this together. And yeah, I'm new to YouTube, so I would love your support. And if you want to leave me a comment telling me what you liked, what you didn't like, so I can tweak the scripts to make them even better, maybe the tone or theme, something like that, then let me know. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Peace.